Hello! Today it's a rainy, grey, horrible windy day in London, so I fancied a nice comforting cake. So I was looking through snacking cakes by Yossy Arefi, if that's how you say her surname, and she had a recipe for mostly apples cake. So I thought I'd give it a go. What I love about this cookbook is everything just looks really easy. So and I've had quite a good success rate of what I've baked, so I'm hoping for good things. I'm going to bake half the amount like I usually do, as we're only baking for two, and also I did double the amount of apples, which is these here. So it was meant to be about a cup. As you can see, it's kind of gone over because my apples were quite small, so I don't know if that's going to affect it. We'll see. And they're these weird apples, they're called seasonal, but they're this kind of weird bit of hybrid, it seems, between apple and pear. Anyway, let's crack on. So first up, it's dark brown sugar into a bowl. And then an egg. Something I also like about her book is that she says you can use the egg straight from the fridge, which is always a plus. And then I'm gonna whisk that together for about a minute. I'm gonna use my stand mixer because I can. Okay, so they've had a whisk, and next, what do we do? It's oil. So it's vegetable oil. And some whiskey. And some cinnamon. And vanilla extract. And some freshly grated nutmeg. And espresso powder, which is unusual, but we'll see. And some salt. She uses kosher salt, which we don't really have in the UK. We probably do somewhere, but it's not very common. But apparently you can just use half the amount of table salt, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I think that's everything. And then we whisk that again. And then we add plain flour and baking powder and bicarb, and then another whisk. I've just used a spatula to make sure it's all combined, and then I think we fold in the apples and about half of the walnuts. So I just toasted these earlier, just while the oven was preheating. Just give them a quick chop and toast. Fold that in. God, look at those gorgeous colours, it looks so pretty. I think that's pretty well combined. And then into a pan. So yeah, I'm using, so this is meant to be, I think, for a square pan, but it's such a good cookbook and that she gives loads of different options. And then I picked a round pan, and then I just halved the recipe. And then we smooth over as best as we can. And she recommends giving a little tap. And then the rest of the walnuts get sprinkled on top. It already smells amazing. And how quick was that? Such low effort. That's what we like with baking. Okay, and then it's just into the oven. She has it at 350 Fahrenheit and I have a fan oven, so I'm putting it in at 160. And it's meant to take 30 to 40 minutes, so I think I'll check it around 20, but I presume it'll be around 30. Okay, let's see how it goes. So here's the cake straight out the oven. It took 35 minutes, which was about right. She said 30 to 40 minutes, and even though I baked half, it's kind of the same kind of height. You can see the few skewer marks where I was testing it. It smells amazing. You can actually smell that hint of whiskey and a kind of caramel flavour. Scent, I guess, rather than flavour. But it's meant to rest in the tin for 15 minutes before it gets unmoulded. So I'm just going to leave it here for a bit. Let's get a little unmould. It's still warm, but okay, so it's cooled a bit, so I'm now gonna have a little taste. Start a bit small. Oh. Got stuck on a walnut there. Looks like a nice bake. Have a sneaky little taste. Initial impressions are that it's quite light and it's got good flavour. I think maybe I prefer a bit more depth to it. Maybe it could have done with some yogurt or something like that, something tangy. It is really good though, and very easy, very quick, and I'll see how it tastes after a few hours and tomorrow as well. So the next day, and even like later on in the same day, the flavours really came out a bit more. I think it just needs a little bit of time. Some cakes are amazing fresh from the other oven, and some kind of are better once they've had a bit of time. So this was one of them. I definitely think I'd make it again just because it was so easy. It's nice way to use up some apples, and yeah, it was delicious. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.